Hey everyone, and welcome to BSD Synergy. This week will be the first episode of a mini-series which I'll be calling the New Release Series. Basically, anytime a new release of a major BSD comes out, I will go over it. So, our first New Release Series episode will be on FreeBSD 11, which just came out. Okay, so first things first. I bet a few of you have noticed that I seem to be missing videos last week and then 2 weeks ago. For the time being, and hopefully not past the new year, we're going to be going to bi-weekly videos. Between the massive amount of overtime that I'm having to work at work and the fact that I have to write, learn, produce, film, all of this on my own, I can't feasibly do it. So we're going to go to a bi-weekly release schedule for the time being. This will give me time to catch up and hopefully start putting videos in a backlog. Like, I'll be able to spend more time getting more videos filmed and then just have them waiting and be able to put them up whenever I, lose track of time or just don't have the time during the week to actually get this video going. So I hope you stick around, watch the videos. I'm hoping to be able to cover some more advanced topics now that I'll have more time in between the videos to actually, research and learn these topics. Currently, the BSD Synergy website is still in the works, and by still in the works means I really should start it. It's just been absolutely hectic and I haven't gotten around to it. But there will be show notes on there. My goal is, again, next video in 2 weeks. I have, however, set up a PayPal, because that takes 5 minutes. So if you do want to contribute to the show or just, send a couple dollars here and there, I've had a few people contact me about it. I don't expect it. I'm not asking anybody to do it. Please, if you don't feel comfortable or you think I'm a really bad host or any of that, don't do it. This is just for those of you that have contacted me, and if there are others out there that want to contribute to the show, help get equipment so I can do some of this stuff locally instead of constantly doing it in the cloud, make things better, pay for some, I've got an email server for BSDsynergy.com, so you can actually now email mason@bsdsynergy.com with show ideas, suggestions, all of that stuff. So I do have to pay for that monthly now. So, just little things here and there. It won't hurt. Again, I'm not asking you to do it. If you don't want to, please don't. It's just for those of you that have reached out to me and have asked for it. Here you go. It's paypal.me/BSDsynergy, and I'll leave that in the description when I'm at the end of the video. Also, I've decided that I'm going to stop telling you what I'm doing next week because, honestly, I feel like the dog from the movie Up, where it's like, squirrel, and my attention just runs somewhere else. I totally intended on doing an OpenBSD router video this week, and I have, all the show notes ready and all of that, but then FreeBSD 11 finally hit, and I really wanted to go over FreeBSD 11, so I'm just going to stop telling you what's coming up next. It will be a wonderful surprise, because seriously, something catches my eye, and I'm like, that's a whole lot more cool and relevant. Let me cover that right now. So I will be getting to the router. It's probably going to be the next episode, but don't hold me to that because, again, there could be another, shiny squirrel that catches my attention, and off we go. So that being said, let's go ahead and get right on into it. We have FreeBSD 11. It dropped on October 10th. Finally, I've been waiting for FreeBSD 11 forever, and I know a lot of people have. So with FreeBSD 11, that also means we now have the PCBSD now, TrueOS. We now have TrueOS built on FreeBSD 11. TrueOS follows FreeBSD current branch, and from what I'm looking on their downloads, the last time they built, as of this video, was on October 14th. So they definitely should be pulling in some FreeBSD 11, and I'm really looking forward to getting to try TrueOS a little bit more. Hopefully it'll run on my MacBook. I've been really wanting to replace Mac OS X, and PCBSD 10.3 just it wouldn't work. I couldn't get the graphics card to do multiple monitors. So, some of the notable things that have happened in FreeBSD 11, and all of these are coming from the FreeBSD website. OpenSSH DSA key generation has been disabled by default, which is good. It is important to update OpenSSH keys prior to upgrading if you are using the DSA key. I think by default it uses RSA now, or EDSCA. I can never remember that actual acronym. I think I've seen that on some of the Linux boxes. It still uses that. But update your keys. I always use RSA. DSA is kind of an older key, not as secure as some of your more modern keys, but, they finally removed it. They've also removed Protocol 1, which is great. If you've watched any of my previous SSH videos, you'll know that we talked about how Protocol 1 is not good and we should never use it. OpenSSH has been upgraded to 7.2 P2, which is good. There is additional wireless support for 802.11n devices, which is always awesome. That's one of the few things about the BSD communities that I wish were like the Linux communities, and it's because the Linux community is larger, honestly. This is my opinion. We do tend to wait longer for driver support, probably because there's just not as many of us. I wish I knew enough to do driver development. I wish I knew enough about that stuff, and maybe I'll look into it. With all my free time, I have so little free time, it's hard for me to keep with the YouTube series, much less write wireless card drivers. By default, the ifconfig utility will set the default registry domain to FCC on wireless interfaces. As a result, newly created wireless interfaces with default settings will have less chance to violate country-specific regulations. Okay, that's pretty cool. The SVN Lite utility has been updated to version 1.9.4. The lib blacklist library and applications, it has been ported from the NetBSD project. I looked at lib blacklist briefly. It's a pretty nifty little tool. I would definitely, check it out if I were you. Support for ARCH64, so ARM64 architecture, has been added. So I know you could get FreeBSD on ARM hardware before, but maybe this is like now it's officially supported. Either way, FreeBSD on embedded hardware, I'm so looking forward to that. My Raspberry Pis are thanking you. Native graphics support has been added to the Beehive hypervisor. This is what I'm waiting for. There's a behemoth machine on the floor behind me that I've been meaning to set up as a hypervisor. But I've been waiting. I've been waiting for FreeBSD 11. And what I'll probably do is whenever I do set it up, I'll do a video on it on Beehive. Which, as I said earlier in the video, maybe next week will be OpenBSD, but who knows? Maybe next week will be Beehive. It just really depends on how, see, squirrel. See, I didn't even make it a full fucking video before something else caught my attention, and I wrote the damn show notes that I'm reading to you right now, so, good grief. Broader wireless network driver support has been added. That, all the time, personal story. If there's one thing I've ever had issue with open source operating systems in general, whether it be Linux or FreeBSD or any other BSD, where the two things that always give me brain aneurysms, it's fucking wireless card support and it's graphics card support. Because and I have some really old laptop hardware. There was one time I actually installed it on my laptop and my graphics card was too old and I couldn't find the old hardware anymore. But that's, so yes, more wireless card support, fantastic. The full release notes are on the FreeBSD website. I literally read to you straight from their page. I copy and pasted into my show notes. So, if you hadn't seen it already, now you've seen it now. There is a lot of release notes. The release difference between this and like 10.3 is just, it's phenomenal. It's really exciting too. So I'm really looking forward to that. So today, the demo is going to be a little bit short. Well, it's going to be short on your end because I'm going to fast forward through it all. It actually kind of takes a while. I'm going to show you how to upgrade from a 10.2 and a 10.3 FreeBSD system to 11.0 release. Hopefully the 10.2 cooperates with us. If it doesn't, I won't do it. My current web server is a 10.2 and then my blog server is a 10.3. I've already updated another one of my servers on 10.3 and got it successfully updated to 11, and everything seems to be working fine on that, so that's good. I know that the 10.3 to 11 upgrade path is working, and I'm pretty sure the 10.2 should as well, but we'll see. What would be really nice is if I could get access to like a 9 system or an early 10 system and attempt to upgrade from there. I don't. DigitalOcean doesn't keep older versions of it. I don't even know if they had FreeBSD back when FreeBSD 9 was out. Honestly, I don't even remember when 10 came out. I've only been working with BSDs for a couple of years, and I really don't remember ever working on a 9 system. I think 10... No, I think when I started, like right around the time I started working on BSD, 10 came out. Like, I was working on BSD 9.3, I think? I don't know. I don't remember the last. It's just been a long time. So, I don't have access to a 9 system. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through that update. Okay, so the first thing we're going to upgrade from is a 10.3. This is my blog server. So the first thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't done it in a while, is FreeBSD update fetch install. Because if you don't, this will it won't work. I tried upgrading a server and it was really far out of date. I've been a bad sysadmin keeping my shit up to date, and it wouldn't update because I wasn't updated. Or it wouldn't upgrade because I was not updated enough. So if you haven't done that, run the command. So if you have your system up to date, you need to run the FreeBSD update upgrade -r 11.0-release. Okay, so this actually can take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it run, keep it recording, and then I'm going to fast forward through it really fast once it's done. And you'll see that my little face is going to go away, and then it'll come back when there's actually things to be talking about. Okay, so it asks me if this looks reasonable, and it does. There's no docs, no world doc, no games. So this is basically, it's a DigitalOcean server. So yeah, I'm pretty much reasonable. I didn't do the full installation, obviously. It's a cloud in it. Okay, so if you hit Control-T in something, you can see the commands that are actually being run. Earlier, I had actually gotten into a P fault, which I assume is a page fault. And my upgrade process died, and this is on a 10.3 system. So I did a hard reset of the server, and hopefully, I mean, it's eating up a lot of CPU right now, but hopefully it'll actually work this time. Because it got stuck on the downloading, or it said, I think, preparing to download, but some command, I guess, page faulted out. It didn't work, so hopefully it works this time. Okay, so it seems like it actually went through this time. This happened on another install of mine too. It's weird. So if it doesn't work or it gets hung, Control-T will tell you what's actually happening whenever it's just sitting there doing nothing. As you can see, I've been pushing it a lot. But currently it has to only fetch only 45,559 packages. So, like I said, this video is going to be cut down a lot. I'm actually not going to do a video upgrading a 10.2 because actually, according to the release notes, it's the same process. It's the exact same process, and it's already been over an hour. Now, granted, I have had to upgrade this twice now. It got hung and the page fault happened. And maybe it would have kept going on, but it was stuck there for a while. So this is taking a while, so I'm not going to do a 10.2. The cool thing is, and I'm hoping that I'll get a chance to show you, it will ask you to pick the differences between files if it finds a diff that it doesn't want to merge. So it happened on my SSHD conf on one of my other machines. It should happen on this one too. So when we get there, we get there. But until that point in time, this is what I get to look at while I wait on this thing to be finished. So again, it's going to be fast forwarded through. You're not going to see a lot of this. So I'm going to try to keep it as helpful as possible, but there's a lot of steps and sometimes they sit there for a long time. So you will see me, actually you won't see me again because basically I'm going to stop talking now and then we're going to get to a new screen and for you, no time will have passed at all, but for me it might be a long time. So we'll get back to that whenever it gets to a point where it needs me again. So the upgrade failed again. It actually didn't get hung this time, but the SSH connections got disconnected. And it was giving me an error connection. Basically, the connection had been refused and was not. I couldn't SSH back in. And the console access through DigitalOcean wasn't working either. From what I was seeing when I was hitting the Control-Ts, it was dealing with something. One of the commands that it was doing at the time had to deal with ZFS. And I do use the ZFS installs on DigitalOcean, so I'm going to try running it again. I was able to get back in via SSH. I'm hoping that the console doesn't die again. If it does, we're going to guess we'll have to figure that out. I guess maybe my machine was using DSA for SSH. It's weird. I guess maybe that's just the default. I don't know. I didn't have this issue. I upgraded another 10.3 that actually is a little bit older than this machine by about a week or so, and I did not have these problems, so I didn't feel the need to check these things. Here's hoping this one works. We'll see. Okay, so third time's the charm, obviously. The good thing is that I as I was going through this, and you probably won't see it because I probably will have cut it out. It does resume. I've been having to force shut down this machine to make it reboot, and it does resume where it was left off. So I didn't have to re-download all the packages and stuff, and it didn't have to patch some other things. So yeah, good idea, good thing. But this is where now it tries to automatically merge files, but it doesn't always. And it's like, hey, I really don't want to do that, so let me show you. And it gives you a VI. Basically, these are your changes right here. And I just delete them. And then, go down. Nothing else seems to have changed. It's actually source code. Cool. Okay, SSHD config. And then these are other changes that it just asks, hey, do these look good to you? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because I really don't know exactly what all these are. Hey! Shit. But they look good. And some more stuff. Yeah. And basically just going to keep asking you all these things. You want to keep double checking, which is good. Honestly, I did not manually change any of these files, so that's kind of why I'm going through and just saying, do these look reasonable? I say yes, and here it goes, and now it's updating. And I actually have to catch up with it. Come on. Can I go to end? End. Lots of stuff. This is all the things it updated. Okay, so everything has been installed, and now we reboot. Actually, sorry. Okay, so that was a list of everything that was installed and patched and fixed. And now what we actually do is we do FreeBSD update install. This will actually install the package. We haven't completely upgraded yet. We've just been getting ready and getting prepared. It's probably why a reboot, the system isn't crashed. So it double checks with you, like, hey, are you sure you want to do all this shit? And then you actually would say, okay, this is good. This is what I want to do. Let's install it. And now it's going to install the updates. Okay, so now we're back in and we run the FreeBSD update install command again for it to continue or to finish installing updates. And now, from what I'm reading in the FreeBSD update, you should always upgrade your packages after a major version update. Major versions usually have different application binary interfaces, which will break a lot of your third-party applications. So after a major version upgrade, you really should upgrade all packages and all ports, which we will do in a second as soon as this has finished updating. Okay, so the update after we installed worked, but now we actually need to update our third-party software, because it's likely that some of it will have broken. Now, it may not all have broken. The ABIs are different. Or, that's what the manual says. I actually don't know between 10.3 and 11 if they actually are different, but it's highly recommended that you do this. So to update all of your package installed stuff, so basically anything you use pkg install for, so binaries, to upgrade your binaries, and if I could upgrade -F, okay, so it does say pkg static install -F pkg is recommended. So if I get the chance to do that, we're going to do that. Yes, so it probably already did it. That probably needs to be updated inside of the FreeBSD handbook because I'm literally just reading this from the handbook. So installed, upgraded will be 39. So yeah, as you can see, not only are there new dependencies because some things are actually being installed, packages are to be upgraded and to be reinstalled. So we're going to go ahead and just upgrade and reinstall. Okay, so now we have upgraded all of our packages. So now to upgrade all of our source. So to be specific, we have upgraded all of our binary installed packages, but to upgrade our source, we actually need to do portmaster -AF. And it does not appear that I have portmaster installed. Just so you know, if you were using ports, you should need to do this. On this server, I've built nothing from source, so pretty sure everything on here is going to be fine. Okay, so now what we actually have to do now is do another FreeBSD update, install, and it will install our updates that we did with our binaries, and that'll be it. Okay, and that's all I have for you this week. I hope you liked it. The upgrade process, I have to say, is kind of tough. It requires a little bit of thinking on your part. I had to, keep going and, not give up on it, basically. Eventually it worked. I don't really know why it took 3 attempts, why the first one hung and then the next one hung. My only guess is that, again, I didn't build this system. These are cloud init files from DigitalOcean, so maybe they did something. Maybe there was some sort of network connection between them and the upgrade server when it was trying to upgrade. Or, it could have been a lot of things. But I don't know what those are. I did eventually get it to upgrade. It's probably not going to be anywhere near as difficult if you're running it on your own system and not using cloud stuff. But seeing as how a lot of things are moving into the cloud and, we want FreeBSD to be a competitive cloud member, it's still kind of weird that happened. Could have been just me, but these systems are very simple. They're web servers. They host one website and that's it. This is a good reason why you should always back up your stuff beforehand. I'm glad that a failed upgrade doesn't blow the system to hell. That's nice. And the fact that it was able to keep going. In case you're wondering, I did spend 3 hours making this video trying to upgrade. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit not as happy with that as I could be. May not even be FreeBSD's fault. Could be completely 100% my fault. I don't really know. But yeah, not too terribly happy with that. I really wonder how they do this in big environments where, I guess if you use the package manager static, but, if you had to rebuild all your ports and, it asks you for that and you have custom things, I'm pretty sure there's other ways of using the upgrader that I'm not aware of. So, that's fine. Well, I hope you liked the show this week. I did. I'm glad that my machines are upgraded. That really does make a difference to me. If you liked, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to, subscribe. Come back and see me in 2 weeks. Remember, we're doing our new episode will be in 2 weeks. And that being said, I'm your host, Mason Egger, and I'll see you next week.